Here we are, episode 20. I cannot believe 19 episodes ago, I was coming on, not quite sure what to expect. And we said something like this: from the boardroom to the basketball court, these women are intense, authentic, knowledgeable, and unfiltered. They're what we call certified unscripted. And so began the introduction of Penny Toler, Ruthie Bolton, and the infamous teaspoon, Teresa Weatherspoon. And we brought you this show that has absolutely blown up, seemingly, or what feels like overnight. And we have you to thank for it. Thank you so much for tuning in each and every week, both on Facebook as well as YouTube. We do this live every Tuesday night at 7:30 p.m. And many of you have been so very, very faithful to this show and what we talk about, from women's hoops to the broad spectrum of life itself. So we're very, very thankful, and we won't disappoint tonight either. So the WNBA has been kind of the run of the game, so to speak. And now that we're out of season, we're prepping for the NCAA season, which is a whole lot of basketball coming at us night after night after night. With that said, what we've decided to do is we will be taking a hiatus as we prepare for the upcoming March Madness. We will be back in touch with a few shows here and there. But tonight, being episode 20, we will be finishing out this season of the show on November 16th, I believe it is. So 2 more Tuesdays from tonight. And we will be knocking off some very important guests, or presenting to you some. We're not going to knock them off. That ain't right. We're going to present to you some very important guests that you've been requesting. So a couple of things to do to just get you up to speed. We now are so big time that we have a mug. There's the certified unscripted mug. Thank you to Rita Haywood that sent it. Now, I'm not one to say things, but my picture isn't on the mug. We'll work on that by the time we return next season. We also have the certified unscripted sweatshirt. So we're good with that. Is that nice or what? Bam! So we've come a long way. And we have you to thank just for tuning in every single night. So as we usually do, we welcome to the stream. I took up some time, just enough time for Penny to sit down in her seat. Woo, you made it, girl. You made it.
I know. I'm going to tell you, anybody been in LA traffic, you already know. It's a miracle me even making that. I ran in, had just enough of time to put my certified unscripted on, and boot up this computer. I didn't want to miss it. We got a great one today for you folks.
Oh my gosh, we do, and I can't wait to get our special guest today. Thank you for making it, because I was killing time. I was like, what can I? Let me see. I got a mug. We can't go without Penny. And of course, so for those of you that have never caught us before, of course, Penny Toler, longtime GM, both player, coach, and general manager of the Los Angeles Sparks, who brings a plethora of knowledge to us every single week. And where would we be without the one that keeps us in harmony, the mighty Ruthie, who sings to us and brings us all kinds of inspiration. Mighty, wait, let me see, your mic is on. Usually she brings us the mic. There we go.
I got my whistle.
Okay. All right.
Around my neck.
Okay. Yeah. So we're jumping in. Before we introduce you want to talk about going. Kudos to Rita Haywood for going and digging through the piles of information to find a special guest. She outdid herself this week. So we're going to get to that in just a moment. But right off the top, let's talk about who's making money.
Ooh.
How about Paige Beckers going to make $1 million from name, image, and likeness? Now, when people start talking about women's basketball, ain't nothing, and we still haven't made it yet. I wish when I was in college, 1984 to 1988, do the math, but I was 5 when I was in college, when I started, right? I wish I could have made $1 million from my name, image, and likeness. Penny, you say what? How far have we come with this whole
my God,
thing and women making money now?
Well, let's just say me, Ruthie, you, and everybody else is jealous that we were born at the wrong time.
We were born a little bit too.
I guess we could start there, that we were born at the wrong time. Hey, it's amazing. You know, it just goes to show you that all the hard work that everybody on this panel done, and our guests and people before us, all the work that we've done to get to this point. I think it's awesome that she can earn $1 million and earn it in college. And I'm hoping that, okay, if she can get that $1 million in college, I'm looking forward to the day that the WNBA and all these other sports are paying $1 million off the bat just to come in play professional sports. So I think this is huge. I think it's huge for college sports, college athletics, because the reality of it is, I've been saying for years, yeah, it's great that we want a scholarship to go to college, but every athlete's probably done played for their scholarship like 5 times over before they graduate. You know, if the coach can make $1 million, why can't they? And some of the coaches are making more than $1 million. So why can't the athletes make money off of their likeness, off their ability? Because as far as I'm concerned, any scholarship now shouldn't be 4 years. That may be your eligibility. But in reality, if you're handing someone a scholarship to make it even worth its value, it needs to be 6 years. And what I mean by that is, every athlete won't make the pros. So you have the option to go get a master's. Why should I go 4 years? I play, I give the university, they make all this money. And then I got to turn around and pay for a master's on my own.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly.
So as far as I'm saying, kudos to her getting $1 million, and I hope a lot of other female athletes get $1 million too.
A freshman.
She's just completed her freshman year. It's not like she's graduating, or on that final year. She's got a ton of followers, and that's where this social media has taken us, right? You get yourself a ton of followers. That's what we need to do. We got to beef up our followers so we can get some of that money. Oh, we're not in college, but hey, we can take it. Your thoughts, Ruthie?
Oh, I think it's awesome. I've been, ever since they started talking about it, I was like, yeah, they need to do it. But I didn't realize women would jump so, that fast. And a freshman, man, that's awesome. You know what? I think it's great because you never know how long your career gonna last. And there's money out there to be taken. Like the athletes that work their butts off, and one that creates that with sponsorship. So I think it's a great thing. And to me, hey, you know what? Next year maybe somebody getting $2 million. So I think but I think it's great for women's basketball. I think it's great for sports in general. And I think it shows that, hey, you know what? We need to make this an even playing field. We need to make sure that we shouldn't be the minority in everything.
Yeah, absolutely. And there was so much concern in the beginning about name, image, and likeness, how only the men were going to make the money. But as it turns out, it's the women in social media that are attracting, not that the men aren't attracting followers, but that is a place where that playing field is even. There are a lot of women out there doing great things on social media, TikToking, as Penny likes to call it, and on Instagram or whatever, with all these followers that, advertisers want. They want to use them. And you're at UConn, you're a freshman. So anyway, kudos for that. Another quick thing that we wanted to get to so we don't forget it, because we have so much to talk about. There was, I think Erica brought it up. Oh, shoot. There was oh, darn. All right. There was a question in here, but I wanted to talk about Elena Beard. I know. There it is. There it is. You should get Elena Beard on to talk about the push to expand the league. So Penny, I know you can run with this because that's that Oakland group, right?
That is the Oakland group that's headed by Elena Beard. Personally, Elena, GMs are not supposed to have favorite players. And, I love them all. I like them all. But Elena is definitely special because, Elena is one of those people that lead by example, an amazing person. I mean, they couldn't pick a better person to lead a group that's going to bring a team to Oakland. I think Elena's going to do an amazing job. After she left the Sparks, she worked in a banking, did financials, and, well-versed in a lot of things. And it's going to, how you say, I can't be more proud than Elena is going to lead this group. And with her leading this group, I'm sure it's going to get done. I know it's going to be a lot of work. But like I told her when she announced that she was going to be leading that team, let me know if you need any help. We should get Elena on here to talk. Matter of fact, Elena, if you listen to anybody out there, I'm about to call you as soon as we hang up, because we want her to come on and talk about her journey. Because the good thing about her journey is, Elena got her hand in everything. She done built her own program that's reaching back to kids. And, I done been on I done did a couple of her speaking engagements for her with all her kids. And she got, I hate to get I think it's 619. She's going to kill me. Elena, don't kill me. Okay. But the program starts with some numbers and it's about giving back. And I know she's all about former athletes becoming owners, becoming business owners, all that stuff. So that's going to be incredible. I can't wait to see it. Anything Atlanta turns to gold, and I know it's going to be amazing. I know it's going to be truly amazing.
That's awesome.
Yeah. I think that's awesome. You go hang out with Elena. I'm going over to hang out with Dawn Staley. See if I can get down on that staff, that part of that $22.4 million.
Hey, so you know what? I want to say this, and Dawn probably killed me. Yeah. But I do know that Philly's trying to bring a team to Philly as well. Oh, I do know that.
How can she not do something?
You already know. I already know Dawn names in the mix now. Whether she's not partnering with them or not, I know it's Philly, Portland, and Oakland. You know what I'm saying?
So let me ask you a question.
Oh, wait. What about this, Penny? Though you gonna be a GM again? Oakley, Penny, Tolers.
Well, I don't.
The PTs.
Hey, this is what I'm saying. I'm going to get Kathy's job, Englehart's job. I'm going to get her job. I'm going to get her job to be president of the league. How you say? It's interesting because I'm rocking with my guy JB again. For y'all who out there don't know it, that's Johnny Buss. Johnny got a lot of amazing things that he got going, and I'm telling you, I'm having fun. That's why I ran in and I was late today. And we're actually doing a lot of special things that I think you guys are going to be surprised about, and you're going to hear about them shortly. You never say never, but I'm actually having fun doing what I'm doing right now.
Yeah, there's one more thing. I missed this. I was looking for it in the talk, but Ryan Howard as the best overall player in college basketball, skill-wise. Thoughts on that? Definitely, I'm probably going to get one of. She's in my top 5. We always do top 5 of everything, right? Definitely one of the best players that's out there. Won't even see 5,000 as a senior, I bet. And that is something else that we probably should start paying attention to. How much is, not to go backwards, but we're unscripted, so I can go backwards when I want to. How much is it going to become a part of? Well, she's the best player. She doesn't make any money. And this player, is a TikTok, comes off the bench, but she's a TikTok, her body is tight and she's a TikTok celebrity and she's making millions. Like, how much is that going to start disrupting what we have known as the pure sport of basketball? Just playing for the love of it. Now, how much is it going to start being about the money? That's something people aren't thinking about, but I'm telling you, it's going to happen.
Well,
I was going to get Ruthie.
I got my 2 seconds there. Of course, anything you're trying to do, that's going to always be some turbulence a little bit. But I think, to me, it's worth the risk because we needed a change. We needed something like this. So, yes, that's going to be some different gravity to it. But to me, I think that we'll just, deal with that when we get there. But I think right now I'm happy that, like I said, that they're actually the athletes getting paid. So there's going to be some challenges, but have to figure out how to work those out down the road. Penny?
And see, for me, I think when you talk about Ryan, it's about your supporting cast. Now it's bigger than a game. And people got to realize that it's bigger than a game. If Paige can get $1 million, I'm sure because she got the right people around her. You know what I'm saying? Yep. If I was an athlete, I'm going to go and get me some people that want to be around me too, that want to help me, leverage my platform, leverage my likeness, leverage my brand. So if you thinking that Paige is doing this all by herself, I guarantee you're kidding me. Because I actually know some of the people that's working with Paige. I don't want to say their name, and but I know several of the people that's working with her. For every athlete out there, if you don't know how to do it, go get you somebody that does. But when I say go get you somebody that does, somebody that's an expert, somebody that has a plan. Nah, hey girl, let's just go get on TikTok. Let's just do that. Nah, somebody
do this, and you can make money doing this. Because I can do that for a fee. I can consult.
Yeah, I could too. I could probably, go do some running man. So go get you somebody with a plan, and with an idea, and you can get that too. And the only thing I don't like, and I'm obviously I got to talk about my pedigree where I come from, and the WNBA is that you just see so much of it. And when I say so much of it, that I don't want people to just think and look, I ain't knocking nobody hustle out there, nobody dress or nothing like that. I still want it to be because women in sports still are very, very talented
and passionate
so
about it.
and
The whole piece.
passionate.
Yeah. Yeah.
And
Yeah.
I get a little discouraged when I see people just, being half dressed, doing the most when, and that's what people want us to do to take away from. No, we're talented. We still
Yeah.
need to let our game speak for us as well.
Amen. Amen.
Yeah, I like that.
I think you would agree with that, huh, Ruthie? Because
oh yeah, for sure. No, you're right about that. Definitely.
and I don't want nobody to ever take our hard work that we do for a joke. We don't have to be in spandex. We don't have to be half dressed. Now, guess what? We're good. GOOD.
Yeah.
Okay.
Damn good.
Exclamation
So we
point.
still have to focus on that.
Well, we're missing one part of the show today. Teresa Weatherspoon, one little piece of certified unscripted, not here. But be sure to support our girl tonight. The Pelicans take on, it is Phoenix, I think, tonight on TNT. Thanks for that. 10 p.m. Eastern time. Thank you, Mike. So with all of that said, we don't want to waste another moment. I think we've covered most of what's out there. If I missed something, let's jump back on it. But we're talking about the purity of the game. We're talking about a freshman who can make $1 million and was voted the only freshman, Paige Beckers, that was voted as a player of the year. I think in history, I believe in women's hoops, she's been the only freshman to do that. But I just wonder what would have happened if she was playing back in the day of someone by the name of Tina Hutchinson, who dropped 41 points against the legendary Cheryl Miller in a game as a freshman.
Oh, wow.
I just wonder. And that same athlete, Tina Hutchinson, with us here. Tina, thank you so much for joining us. Thank you so much.
My girl.
Welcome to the show.
Thank you. Thank you.
Tina, there's so many people that have, first of all, Penny has given you tremendous accolades. No matter how many times our fans say, who's the greatest 5 players, blah, 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 and all these names come up, Penny will let everyone know, but y'all don't know nothing about Tina Hutchinson. We're not even touching on that. So you say what to Penny Toler tonight?
Listen. This is what I want to say to my girl that I never, ever got a chance to say. When it came to those handles with that basketball, my girl could do it so many times you would be in a maze. She was a phenomenal point guard.
Okay.
She was so tough and so ruthless with her game until it was amazing. And I never got the chance to tell her that because it was so much going on here, there, and everywhere around us. And I just want to tell you, Penny, if I never get another chance, if the Lord take the breath out of me tonight after this show, I want to let you know God gave you some handles and he gave you some talent. And woo! I am very proud of you, what you have done with your life, my friend. To God be the glory. To God be the glory. And I mean that from my heart, my friend. What he gave you, he did not give to a lot of women. And let me just elaborate on what you guys were talking about earlier. The young lady that's making $1 million right now. Had PT been in the game back then? Oh my God, $1 million? Come on now. $1 million?
Okay,
come on. Hey, she'd have got that. She'd have got that plus endorsements. I mean, $1 million endorsements. She'd have been right up there.
Tina as my publicist, y'all. I mean, but check this out. I want to say thank you, Tina, for all those accolades. But I tell people, and just so you people out there don't know, it's TNT, Tina the Shooting Machine. That was her nickname. And I tell everybody, I'll be like, and they'll tell you, Tina, I don't know if you watch the show or not, you were the baddest player I ever seen.
Thank you, Penny.
I mean, I had, and this is a true story, I had committed to go to Long Beach. Tina and they're like, Penny, come over here to go to San Diego State. And oh my God. Tina, and I say for you people out there who don't know, I relate this, and people are going to be like, Penny, how can you say this analogy easy? It's just like you have Michael Jordan. But for the people who saw Len Bias, Jordan had to develop a jump shot. Len Bias already had a jump shot. See, a lot of
Yes.
people knew
Yes.
Cheryl, but if Tina never had her injury, Tina was the baddest thing I seen. Tina could play all five positions, and anybody that knew her knew that. Cheryl will probably say that. You know what I'm saying? Cheryl would
My
tell you that.
girl.
I mean, to shoot the three, shoot the jump shot, handle the rock, and talk trash at the same time, and look good. Always had style. Always had style.
Hey, hey,
Tina,
I
you the
checked out.
best.
Thank you, PT. Look, I checked out what you said. Always styling and profiling. When you saw the pink picture, always styling and profiling.
That's right. Always,
Hey,
you was
look,
really good.
look. I'm like this. Look, Tina, move, move. I'm like, I got to watch the show because Penny put on a show. And for
Okay.
all did not see it, I'm telling you, I don't have a reason to lie. I was in.
Okay.
It was a lot of time my mouth was open. Okay. And I'm saying, Tina, move, move. I'm like, I need to watch and see what this girl is gonna do with this ball. Cause she bounced it so many times, so fast between her legs. I mean, you was
Mhm.
like, if you blinked, you missed something.
Oh
And she
man.
know that I'm not lying on her. Penny
Yeah.
did that thing. And you know, I am so proud of you, Penny, that you made the move that you made. I was stuck and stifled. I
Mhm.
wish that I could have, but I couldn't. And you know why?
You're talking
You know
about going to
why?
Long Beach State
Yes, I wish
when
even
Penny
at
left
Long
San
Beach
Diego
State,
State.
yeah, when she left, that was the
Hmm.
best possible move that she could have ever made because she went where Joan Bombasini had connections.
Hmm.
She knew people, and my coach had just gotten into the field, didn't know anybody.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
uh, didn't know the ropes out in California, didn't know how things were supposed to have gone.
Hmm.
And that was the best thing that she could have ever done to further her education and her career. So my
They
hat,
are
if
called.
I had one on, is off to you, my girl.
Well, thank you,
They are
Tina. You
called.
know, it was
Yeah,
tough leaving you guys.
yeah,
You
yeah,
know, 'cause I did
yeah,
have
yeah.
an awesome time. You know, for the people out there that don't know, I was a freshman. Tina was a sophomore. We actually went to a Sweet 16, and
We
with
did,
a new coach that had just went to the pros. I mean, just
we
went.
did.
I said pros. Had just went to college in Ernest Riggins, who had
Yeah,
he had never coached college and stuff. I just
exactly.
think we were a very, very talented team. All
But
of
we were
us
young.
learning at the same time, and we were
We were
young.
young. We were very
Yeah, we
young.
were very young.
Yeah, and we're
Tina,
trying to feel our way through it.
the Bleacher Report did an article on you, and they called you the what caught my eye on that article is they said was the best NCAA women's basketball player you've never heard of. I want to talk
Yeah.
about a little bit about why we never heard of. You played that first year, got an injury. What's your story? Where did you come from? How'd you get into basketball? And how did you drop 41 on Cheryl Miller, right? And all the hype. Take us back to those early days of basketball. Help us understand your story so suddenly you're not that player nobody ever heard of.
Well, I really did never understand that article simply because coming out of high school in 1983, I was the number one player in the nation. USA
Yeah.
Today had put that out there. So when you say the player that you never heard of, it kind of puts to mind, okay, well, you're not living under a rock. You can read. I mean, my face is here and there, especially out there in California. And if I'm not mistaken, I think that's where that article was posted, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, and I
I
think, and if I think the what was interesting about the article, why they called it that, is because now this was all the way back in 2010
okay,
when this article was done. But I think one of the things that it speaks of is that in circles today, there's so many people, as great as you were, there's so many people, we hear about, you know, um, Cheryl Miller, right? There are certain
correct.
names that pop up over and over again, and yours not so much. And part of that is just because coming out of that high school, being such a top player coming out of high school, and then having that phenomenal freshman year. From that point on, for whatever reason, you know, your name just kind of dropped off to the rest of the world, and especially to today's group. That's why we're so happy to have you on, so we can dispel that myth, and now everybody can know who Tina is. So how did you
You,
get your start in basketball, and why
And
did you
you know,
pick?
Tina, Real quick, I'm sorry, Vera, because it's weird too. Because back in the day when you didn't have social media and all that, because Tina, if I'm not mistaken, aren't you the only high school player to ever make the Pan Am team? When you were
Yes,
like in the
Penhat,
11th
yeah,
grade,
Yeah.
like
exactly.
wasn't even a senior.
Wasn't even a
Mhm.
senior. Exactly.
She was
You
a
did your
junior.
homework. Yep, you did your homework, my
I
friend.
knew that when I came to play with you. I was like, man, I remember first time I saw you
Okay.
shot, I went, whoa. But
Okay.
I said to my God, they go, yeah, she made the Pan Am team as a
I did
junior.
that. Yeah, I
Yeah.
sure did. We went to travel over to Cuba. Sure did. Yeah, sure did.
So where's home
But
for you, Tina? How'd you get your start?
Birmingham. Okay, the thing about it is, I do have a testimony, and we know we can't have a testimony without a test. Okay,
You got it.
so with that being said, from Birmingham to St. Louis, well, to Illinois, and to California.
Hmm.
Okay, and with me going and traveling the way that I did, and you talking about a journey, and it was definitely a journey. I had to leave. Well, I didn't have to leave. I wanted to leave Birmingham because back then the men basketball was the only one that was being publicized at the time. And just like you guys were talking earlier, women basketball, it was sort of kind of just to the side. Nobody really even cared. And if I wanted to exploit my talents, I had to move somewhere else. And when I met Coach Riggins in Milledgeville, and he was explaining, talking about Jackie Joyner and the program and this, that, and the other. And I knew that
Yeah.
I had relatives. I had relatives back there,
Hmm.
and what he could do, he could further my education and my athleticism. So I'm
Hmm.
thinking, okay, if I want to be something, to be somebody, or this talent of mine, get it out there, I got to
Hmm.
leave Birmingham, and then next I got to leave my family. And
Yeah.
that was probably the hardest thing that I ever had to do, is to leave my mother and to
Hmm.
leave my grandmother. My
Hmm.
grandmother now is going to be with the Lord, and God rest her soul. My mother's still here and I love her dearly. But
Hmm.
they supported me in everything that I did. And there were promises made, there were promises kept, some that wasn't kept, but it kept me going. Okay. Um, when I got out to California, it was a different animal. Can you guys hear me?
Yep.
I
Yes.
think let me see if I can.
No, you're fine. We can
No,
hear
we
you.
can hear you.
Okay,
We can
because
hear you.
okay, well, anyway, it was a different animal, it was a different beast. Okay,
Hmm.
I was very young. I had so many things coming at me at one time.
Hmm.
And it was sort of kind of like, I'm over here, I'm over there. I was spreading myself too thin,
Mhm.
but didn't have sense enough to recognize and to realize that.
Hmm.
And I tell any young athlete today, you first must find God.
Mm.
Allow for Him to lead you down
Hmm.
the road that you need to go. Because it's
Hmm.
going to be so many things that's going to be thrown at you. And you
Mhm.
need to be able to make good, sound, basic decisions.
Hmm.
Without God, you're lost.
Mhm.
The lady that I used to live with, now I had the big head. I'm not going to tell you that I didn't, because I did. She told me, she said, for graduation, I'm going to get you a Bible. You know what I told that lady? I don't want no Bible. What am I going to do with a Bible? I want some shoes, some clothes. I mean, money. That's what I want for graduations. But I've always regretted that. I've always regretted that, because now that I've rededicated my life back to the Lord, so many things have happened. So many doors are starting to open. I love the game of basketball, but I thought that it didn't love me anymore.
Hmm.
That's why I never kept up with the women in the WNBA. After I got done playing overseas in Europe, I was just done with basketball. But then I got to thinking, I said, Lord, you gave me this talent. Now, am I going to leave here and not give back to the community, not give back to somebody that I can help with this talent? So, what am I to do? I was introduced to the Alabama Twisters. That's a AAU team here in Alabama, in Birmingham.
Hmm.
And I've been doing a little bit of side coaching with them, helping them out when I can with AAU. Know nothing about AAU basketball, nothing. So that's sort of kind of what I'm doing right now, trying to help these girls out there in high school, 9 through 12.
Okay.
So that's what we're doing right now.
Tina, I have a question for you. And
Yes.
Vera, not to cut you off, only because, I always said, and you can tell me what you think, and like I'm just going to reiterate the people out there. Tina was the stuff, you guys. She was great. Obviously when I got older and you think back on your time and stuff, and you tell me what you thought. I thought the school ruined your career. And you can tell me what you thought. And what I mean by that, when you hurt your knee, when you blew out your ACL, I thought they rushed you back too soon. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Yeah. Penny,
what did you feel about
point.
that? Because I think if you had took more time, because you was strong, had a beautiful body, great, all that. But when I thought they rushed you back, I felt, this is what I felt. This is one of the reasons I left them. I said, hey, if you treat your star like this,
what you think about me?
What you think about me? I'm out of here.
Correct.
Because
Correct.
you were so great, and to watch them, I felt, I don't know, this is my perception. They rushed you back, and I thought they ruined your career because they didn't allow you a time to get healthy. What's your thought on that? When you got hurt?
Well, Penny, I think that you're right in saying that, because of the fact that the rehabilitation, getting back to practice, doing this and doing that, that's what was expected of me. And the little bit, if you show a little bit of progress in my rehab, okay, you ready to go. And I'm saying, no, I don't think, but at that time, Penny, we didn't have a voice,
Right.
and not having a voice, it hurts you. But now the women are more vocal.
Yes.
And that is because, now I will say this, we laid the platform for them to be able to speak, for them to be able to say, no, I'm not ready to go back. I'm still hurting. And Penny, I think that you are exactly right in saying that. And then I fell behind, and just to keep it real, we're unscripted. We're just telling the truth. And I fell behind and fell behind in my grades because of the fact that I had gotten frustrated because I knew that I wasn't ready to go back, but it was expected of me to go. So in order for me to continue with the scholarship, because that's what was on the line. If we really want to know the truth about it, that's what was on the line. Scholarship.
And as coaches, you losing there. We talk about that in previous certified unscripted. We talk about it's coaches now that are losing their jobs for creating those cultures and climates. So people want to know a little bit more about the game. If you can take us back, one of the first questions is, what schools other than San Diego State did you consider, being that you were such a phenom coming out of high school? And then we want to talk a little bit about Cheryl Miller. But was there any other schools you had considered?
Vera, we have to throw this question in there too, Tina, before you answer those two, because another thing that I know a lot of people out there don't know, like you said, what other schools did you consider? You want to talk about Cheryl Miller, but that's an excellent question from the person. What other school did you consider? Or did you choose San Diego State because they offered your high school coach the head coaching job? That's how good Tina was. That's what
I knew that. I didn't know that my girl was going to ask me that and put me on the spot. But you know what?
Oh, my bad.
No. But being that I love you and I have that respect for you, you know what I'm saying? You know what? It is unscripted. And, my thing of it is, I don't know how you ladies are going to take this, but I'm just going to put it out there and tell you exactly how it is. Shoot straight from the hip, because I've always been this way. Everybody uses everybody.
Yes.
And I felt like at some point in time, in order for, he had already wanted to go to the next level. Okay. We never want to stay at the high school level. Okay. If you get that phenomenal player, all it takes, like I tell people, all it takes is that one person to open a door for you, and there you are back on top. one person, and I was his one person. If
Yeah.
that make any sense.
Yeah.
And so if you go out on a visit and you tell the dean or the athletic director, hey, I can bring the number one player in the nation right now to this university, what do you think that they're going to say? You got the job, but it's a package deal. And Penny,
Mm-hmm.
you are exactly right. I pondered that, but I was young. I pondered that and I knew that, but what could I do about it? I was very young. I was
Yeah.
very young.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but
And
I
you
want to say too, Tina, I definitely didn't want to put you on the spot.
No, no,
That
no.
was a way of me just saying I want people to realize just how good you were. That that they realized in order
they're
to
gonna
get
pack.
Tina, they gotta hire that
Exactly.
coach. And the crazy thing
Exactly.
about it was Mr. Riggins was a nice guy and we did have a good team,
We
but
did. We had a
I
very
just
good
wanted
team.
I just wanted to show people that, because I'm sure you recruit about 50 schools and I'm going to let you speak though, but I just wanted to show people just how good you were to this major university, not any university, San Diego
Mhm.
State,
I mean,
predominantly
yeah.
white, 40,000 students.
Okay, but you
That's how
remember,
bad they wanted you.
it is, and I thank you for saying that. Judy, I can't think of her last name. She was a phenomenal player in her era, in her time, and she was at San Diego State. Okay, but they never went anywhere. She got her name. She was local. She was a local girl, but they never went as far as we did when we were there, Penny. She never did, but everybody knew on campus who Judy was.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, being that and saying that, Coach Riggins was an awesome coach. He knew the game very well, and God rest his soul. He knew the game very well, and he knew how to deal with people. But the type of people that was out the West Coast, I think it was a little bit too far fetched for him because he did not have the connections that a lot of other established coaches had back then. See, he was a newbie on campus, and everybody knew that. So that's why they could do and say what they did to him. They got rid of him for
Mm.
whatever reason. I'm not sure the reason why. I mean, I didn't ask. I don't know. But playing against Cheryl Miller, it was awesome. I had heard about her
Mm-hmm.
throughout high school, and when I found out that's where I was going, out to the West Coast, and I probably would be playing against her. And I was up
Mm-hmm.
for the challenge. I was up for the
Yeah.
challenge. It was Cheryl Miller, Tina Hutchinson. Who's
Right.
gonna
Yeah.
win, who's gonna score, who's gonna do this. And I tell anybody, give me the pill, give me the rock. Hey,
Yes.
Ernest Jr. I got to say that Ernest Jr., which is Coach Riggins' son, he and I practice and we practice and we practice on my jump shot. Everybody want to talk about the phenomenal jump shot. Oh my God. The jump shot that she's got is George Gervin. Her jump shot. Ernest Riggins Jr., we practice day in and day out. That guy had me so mad until I was just sweating bullets because I wanted to
Mm-hmm.
go home. No, girl, you can't go. You got to get this jumper down. It's got to be perfect. And I be doggone. We did that. We did that. And that
They
jumper,
said the
he put in
jumper
the
was
time.
sweet.
It was
Yeah.
sweet. It was sweet as honey.
Okay.
It was sweet as
Okay.
honey. And I ain't trying to brag now. I'm
All
just
right.
telling you like it is. I'm
All
just
right. So
telling you
here
like it
come
is.
hardball playing hardball now. They going hard. So Heaven Burke
Woo!
wants to know: is it true that they had to restrain you because Cheryl Miller blew a kiss at you, and didn't Paula Persinski and Cynthia Cooper square up to fight? And she and Pam got into it too. Now this is like the good stuff. They really taking you back. You remember
But
any
you
of
know
this?
what? Well, I do remember that. But it was, I
Oh,
think she had maybe, it wasn't that she was trying to get at me or anything like that. She
uh-huh.
had maybe scored, a couple points, and she
They
had
gave you
did
the
her things. Yeah,
uh-huh.
like this is mine. So
Right.
I had to come back with no. This is my house. Now we're gonna have
And
to
we
share
beat
this
them
thing.
in
Well,
San Diego
Right
State.
here.
we
Right.
did, Penny. We did beat them. We did beat them
Uh-huh.
that year. We did beat them. And it's it's funny because I recall when we played them at Peterson Gym, Penny, and
Oh yeah.
one of the twins went up. I don't know if you remember this or not. And I went up and she went up to do a layup. I guess because she thought nobody was back there. And when she went up to one of the McGee sisters.
Oh,
Yeah,
McGee
one of
twins.
McGee
Okay.
sisters. Yeah. And she went up and she just laid the ball up lackadaisical, right? And I just came behind her and pinned her shot on the backboard. This is no lie. This is no lie. Oh, my grandmother, and I love her to death. You know what I'm saying? And I just kind of looked and said, "Oh my God, I can't believe I just did." Of course, I was 165 pounds then.
Right.
Probably couldn't. Hey, probably couldn't touch. Hey, probably couldn't touch the bottom of the nets now.
Well, I think I'm in that group. I was about to say the only person who probably can is Ruthie over here.
That's awesome. That's awesome. Thanks for that question, Heaven, taking us back. She must have been there. Who was
probably
who was the player you hated going against during your career, in a good way and a bad way?
Well, you know what? Cheryl was that player that the media had made a big hoorah. A big, as my grandmother would say, a big migration. You know, just make a big migration out of stuff. That was my grandmother's word. And so I didn't hate to play against her because we all know when we play against that player, that's good. It makes you good. It makes you want to do better. It makes you want to work harder, you know, at your game, at yourself. So there really wasn't a player per se that I hated to play against, unless it was Penny and we was in practice and I tried to go steal the ball from her, right? And she just embarrassed. I said, "Oh my Lord, just stay in your lane, Tina." See, that's what you get. Stay in your lane. See, but it really wasn't a player that I really just hated playing against because, you know, we were all out there, number one, to have fun and to display and to show our talents.
You know what, Tina? I wish I had I wish I had gotten a chance to see you play. I think, you know, players like you know, that have just, you know, obviously Penny talks so highly of you and your game. That's what, to me, it shows reflection on our history, that those women, the girls that playing now need to know about Tina Hutchinson. They need to know that they didn't just wake up, you know, and there was a league that women before that, you know, got a chance to play. So if you watch the players now, who will you compare that's similar to a player like you were, like in this generation of players in WNBA?
You know, Penny, I don't know how you think about Diana Taurasi, but you know, everybody says that she's this great and she's this phenomenal player. And don't get me wrong, she is a very good player. She's very good. She's very talented. I think going to Connecticut with what's her coach name?
Gino RMO.
Yeah, RMO. I think that, you know, there again, right school, right coach. He's a very good coach. Very good coach from Italy, you know, and I think that she's just been in the right place at the right time. And
if you,
go ahead.
On the heels of that question too is this one: if you could take the talent of yesterday in women's basketball and you and Cheryl's, and you know, back in the day in your prime, and compare it to now against today's talent, how do you measure up? How would you describe that dynamic?
You know, I think the talent back then, when Penny and I were playing together, I think the talent is much more higher back then than it is right now.
Wow. I mean, it's some talented girls.
Yeah, it's some talented girls playing today. But that's one of the reasons why I kind of fell by the wayside as well, because I said, these girls look like they don't care. And I know, you know, I had the heart, Penny, Ruth, all of us had the heart for basketball. Ate, slept, drank basketball. That was our life. These girls are probably 5, 6, maybe 10 years ago. I didn't think that they were just serious about the game like we were back then. Now, you know, it seems to be a little bit more competitive now, I will say. You know, a little bit more talent is being displayed. But back then, I would say our talent would run all over these girls.
Wow.
Back then.
That is
I would say that.
And it's a perspective, because one of the things that we've been talking about so much is just how far the game has come. But when we start getting into these debates about the GOAT, the top 20, top 5 and top 25 or whatever, it almost gets heated because there's a whole part of history that didn't have televised games, didn't have a WNBA, didn't have, heck, even full college scholarships, if you really want to go back into that history. So that's why it's so great to have people on that can kind of bridge that gap and give some perspective, to help those today understand that, well, people were playing basketball long before the Diana Taurasi's of the world. So that's really great.
Correct. But back then, we were more physical. It wasn't about, the nails and, the hair and the lashes.
How can you even see?
How can you see? How can you hold? I mean, I don't understand, but hey, if that's their thing, then do, like Isaac Hayes has got a song, do your thing. So if that's their thing, then you know what, do your thing. But I just feel back then, we had the heart for the game.
Yeah.
And for them to be getting paid now in the university, it hurts my heart.
Wow.
It hurts my heart.
I tell you,
hey, look, I think we were all born under a bad sign.
I know, huh?
That's what I think.
The skill set was definitely different because
it was just different. Yeah, the skill set of mine.
And I know this because, and I don't know everything. It's just my opinion, and my opinion matters because I have been a DM with 3 titles for 20 years.
Of course.
And nowadays, I used to tell players that's great. Like I would hear some players say, "Oh, where's my scouting report?" Yeah, where is your scouting report?
Exactly.
Back in the day, you knew this, Ruthie too, and Vera. We could do our own scouting report.
Right.
Correct.
Right.
Correct.
We were playing without a scouting report, without 9 versions of seeing a person play.
Exactly.
That responsibility was on the player. Bring your A game, know about your opponent. Coaches didn't have to sit you down and say, "Hey, pay attention, know your opponent." We wanted to know our opponent. We were prepared for the games without the coaches having to tell us, hey, here's A, B, C, D, E, F, G. And that's why the players today, the students of the games, they win. And I would agree with Tina. Tina, you definitely were like Diana. You were a killer, but you were a showman killer too. Like, it was great to watch you play, but I definitely agree with everything you say. And younger players are going to say, "Oh, no, you won't. You suck. You won't do this." But that's just like, look at Magic Johnson. What did he make? $2 million. That was a big deal. And you got these cats making 30 now. It ain't worth the money.
Correct.
You know what I'm saying? Some of them ain't showing up.
Yeah, you're not even going to show them the money, and you ain't going to get nothing else out of them. You know what I'm saying?
Show me the money.
Ask yourself, and not to interrupt the whole conversation, but ask yourself where, okay, they made $2 million and played all those games and nobody needed a rest. Now I get 30 million and I need the rest. Like when you see players taking nights off, or I don't like that. I said this a million times on the air. You want to get to the WNBA, but you can't name me 10 players. So how are you going to be successful?
Yeah.
That means
now I can name the 10 now, and you see how far my knowledge can go back. But that's if you want to get the knowledge to go back to all these players, because you look at Tina, could play 5 positions. Janice Lawrence, 5. You ask yourself this question, Vera. Anybody better than McClain? You see anybody now that's better than Katrina McClain? They probably never heard of her, but is there anybody better than Katrina McClain? Is there anybody better than Cheryl to ask the question? Is there anybody better than Tina? And Coop done showed you. She came back in her elder years and won MVP 4 times.
Yeah,
exactly. I see the question. I see the question is being asked. I have to answer the question between Tea Time and Coop. Yeah. Now I went to Atlanta one year and watched Teresa play, and Teresa's got a good game. But now my thing, Coop, to me, now this is just to me, Coop's got a little. Come on now, see, see. But I'm gonna put it out there now. Coop, I played with her. I never got a chance to play. Played with her, even to pick up games. We would drive to LA. Now Teresa, I never got a chance to play against, but Coop I did, and I think that Coop has got an edge on her. I think that she does, but now it's two different styles of play now. See,
Everyone
people
says
have
that.
to, yeah, but you have to realize that it's two different styles of play. So you can't really we're talking about apples and oranges. You know.
Right.
So, Coop is good. She's good at what she does. And so is Teresa. I'm not taking anything away from any of those ladies. Not one thing. Because both of them brought game when they stepped out on that court.
Yep.
And if truth be told, back in their day, they could have gotten $1 million or $2 million. Because they brought game. They laid a excellent foundation. Excellent foundation.
Yep.
And their name is still being thrown, out there.
Even today.
That's what I'm saying. You still hear about the Cynthia Cooper. You still hear about the Teresa Edwards, because they were saying, all right, fourth quarter, it's tea time. It's tea time. Because they knew that she was going to put on a show.
Yep.
In the fourth quarter, So you can't, I can't just really say, Coop, she's good. T, she's good as well. But, when you have two different styles of play, and you're good and and you know what you are good at. Penny knew that she could handle that rock. She could shoot that thing and she could lay it up. Now as far as rebounding, she came in there, she got knocked around. She got us some rebounds. She did. She got some rebounds. You know what I'm saying? But that wasn't her thing. That was Tony Wallace played with us. Nobody ever, Big Bird. Nobody ever talks about her. For whatever reason, I'm sure. I don't know. But she was phenomenal.
Yeah.
She was really good.
When you start talking about all these players, it's a new thing. I don't know. The only thing that is scripted is we don't bring on a guest that does not give us their top 5 players of all time. So you put together your best squad then and now. Your best 5, whether you played with them or not, just your best 5. Who is it?
Okay. I got to get my girl Penny as my point guard.
Okay.
That's she gotta be. She gotta be. I'm serious. And it's not because we're face to face or anything like that. I'm telling you. Because I know that she could get me that ball, or if she had that open J, she was gonna take it. Okay. So I know that she's very knowledgeable of the game, or she would not have gone as far as she did. Okay. So that's my point guard. Okay. I got Cheryl Miller out there on the wing with me.
Okay, with you. So you want to?
Yeah, with me. Of course.
Of course. Okay.
Why wouldn't I be on my team?
I was saying what you were saying. All right.
That's right. That's right. Okay. And give me one of the McGee sisters, if not both. If not both. If not both. And give me Katrina McClain. Because yes.
There you go.
I watched Katrina play.
That is a top 5. Penny, you made the top 5 this week.
I know, and that goes to show you blood thicker than water, boo.
Okay.
It is. Now look.
On here so I can make somebody top 5. Oh
look,
Lord. No, that's good. That's good stuff.
Lady from Mississippi, I ain't seen you play.
Hey, no worries.
Listen. But
team on defense. No,
but look. But I heard your name.
Everybody know about
I've heard your name. See,
yes, Lord.
I come off the bench. I'll be the 6th player.
I don't come off my bench. Come off my bench. You know what I'm saying? But I heard your name
right there. That's Klay Thompson right
there. Exactly. I've heard your name.
Well, thank you. I appreciate you. Obviously, your game was phenomenal, but I also appreciate you being transparent about your faith and not trying to say, hey, I know not only who I am, but I know whose I am. And I know that my gifts will make room for me and put me before great men and women. So obviously your gifts is out there. So thank you.
You better say it.
What you got, PT? A question. I just want to ask you because obviously time go by, and this is what I love about this show because we can all be connecting everything.
Yeah.
How did you? And I want everybody out there to understand, like, because everybody, somebody's going to get hurt and not, can't play anymore. How did you reinvent yourself?
Yes.
Tina, how did you find your joy and reinvent yourself and move forward with your life? Because I think that's huge for a lot of people to know out here, because some people ain't going to make it. Some people make it, get hurt, such as yourself. And then it's a tough transition. And I
It
don't
is.
know if that was tough for you because we lost contact, but how did you reinvent yourself after your injury to move forward and find your new joy or your new place?
My new happiness. Yeah, Penny, I tell you, it was very hard. First of all, being out in California,
Mhm.
with no family,
Mhm.
it was hard. I got into a lot of trouble, and I'm just gonna tell you like it is, because I don't have no reason
Mhm.
to lie. I got into a lot of trouble. I fell in with the wrong crowd. I thought that they had my best interest at heart, and they did not. And ended up coming home back to Birmingham, Alabama,
Mhm.
with my grandmother and mother. They are two strong black women,
Mhm.
okay? And having them on my side, knowing that I was down and out, as me and my aunt, Diane Burnett, we always say, down and out in Beverly Hills, and
Mhm.
that's sort of kind of what it was. I was down and I was out. And I had to come back to Birmingham. And in doing that, everybody, arms stretched out, welcomed me with open arms. And Penny, it's an excellent question. Sometimes we have to start over. I mean, you can't give up. If you fall down, get up. If you fall down, get up. If you fall down, don't waller in your pit. Don't waller, because that's the key right there. You know, you're down, but you're not out. Does
Mhm.
that make sense?
Amen.
Yeah.
Being
Yeah.
down, but I'm not out of the game. I'm not out of life. And
Mhm.
life has definitely
Yeah.
taught me some hard lessons.
Amen.
Yeah.
Some hard lessons.
That's awesome. Yep.
There was
Okay?
one question also related to, you know, basically some of the hard things that you went through. I don't know anything about this, but it's been asked a couple of times about missing the date line for the '84 Olympic team. Is that something you remember?
I do. And that goes back. Can you hear me?
Yep, we can hear you.
Okay, that goes back to one of the things, not
Mm-hmm.
knowing. This is what I was told. I don't know what happened. Why wouldn't you want a Tina Hutchinson on the Olympic team? Why wouldn't you
Sure.
want me on that team? Why wouldn't you want Cheryl and myself to play together? That
Together.
only strengthens the team. It's not going to take away from her game. It wasn't going to take away from my game. It was only going to make us better as a team. This is what I'm thinking. I don't
Mm-hmm.
know what anyone else, I don't know what the committee was thinking. I don't know. But this is
Sure.
what I was told. I was told that the paperwork didn't get in. That's why I just told Penny I think the move that she made was an excellent move.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The move that Penny made, I mean, if I could have done that, I would have done that. Because
Mm-hmm.
when you don't know, you don't go, and you definitely don't grow when you don't know.
Wow. Yeah. Absolutely.
So, with
Absolutely.
that being said, how could you not know about the paperwork? What were you thinking? How could you
Now,
not
did
know,
Denise?
oh, this is something that we need to do? We need to get her into the tryouts. Are you being selfish? Did you think that I was going to get her? I mean, what were you thinking?
Mm-hmm. Right.
I
Yeah.
don't know. I'm
When
young,
did the
remember?
educate me and our listeners a little bit? When did the actual injury happen? So it was the '84 Olympics came and went, and then you got injured. You didn't get injured prior, right?
No,
No,
it was
it
after.
was,
After. Yeah.
it had to
Wow.
be
Yeah.
84 or 85.
Okay. Okay.
It was
So after the
85
Olympics.
T.
Okay.
It was 85, Penny?
Yeah, because I
Yeah.
came after you, and
Okay.
I came. Yeah, it was 85 the year you got hurt. I'm almost
Okay.
I'm almost sure of that. I believe that's when it was. Yeah.
Have you
And
ever
it was
run in?
just
And that should have been a no-brainer. And anybody knows that. Everybody knows. And see, that's something I learned something new about the paperwork because I never knew that. I was just shocked that you never was an Olympian. I didn't know anything about the paperwork, so I learned something new today too because that should have been a no-brainer. You being on that Olympic team.
exactly, but there again, once I say, when you don't know what the ropes are, and you got this clique
Yeah.
over here, you got this clique of coaches over here,
And they were cliquish.
Yeah, okay. And
exactly.
it's not they not new to this.
So why
Politics,
wouldn't you?
politics,
I mean, I
politics.
didn't understand it.
Yeah.
So if it was going to be on selfishness, then shame on you.
And then you wonder too, T. And I know we're a little over, but when we get these guests, it's okay to go a little over for you guys. I know y'all want to hear all this good stuff and get this knowledge. And listening to you say that, I wonder if it had anything to do with, and no, everybody out there, I'm not just saying it because it's black, because Mr. Riggins was a man and he was black, you know? Because sometimes the child pay for the crime, you know what I'm saying? Or, unless it be real about it back in the day,
Yeah.
Sometimes to hurt another person, and I don't know. I tell you, I'm back here thinking now because he was one of the only black male coaches in college basketball, and then
At the
people
time.
get mad. Yeah, people get mad too because you know how I knew how when I became a GM, a lot of people were mad because they said, "Oh, I didn't pay my dues." What do you mean didn't pay my dues? I competed in the sport for years. Like
Yeah.
you say, Mr. Riggins was a coach and got an opportunity. And I know back in the day, yeah, if you didn't come up a certain way, or like you say, wasn't with certain coaches, maybe that's why you were kept out. I don't know. I'm just listening to your story and
Politics.
I'm like, it
Yeah.
makes a lot of sense now. Like when I'm like, whoa, that's
Well,
huge.
well,
But
that's what
here
that's what he and I didn't mean to cut you off, but that's what he and I discussed behind closed doors. Politics had a lot to do with it, and it goes back again. What are you saying? So you think that I'm going to take the light from Cheryl? If you want her to have the limelight, then so be it. If you think that there's not enough basketballs out on the
wow.
court for her and for myself,
Yeah.
okay. But now, don't take away my chances because
Sure.
I feel like I was robbed of that. And that's
Mm-hmm.
something that I have never really truly gotten over, to be honest with you.
Wow.
Mm-hmm. Wow. Wow. There was a question now, I don't even want to feel like asking it, but there was a question wanting to know, did you ever run into Cheryl afterwards? Did you ever have just a conversation that had off the court, after you stopped playing?
You know, I have not, but I tell you, when I got hurt,
Mm-hmm.
and this is not to say anything about her character, okay, because she's a great person. I met her parents, and if I'm not mistaken, I think her mother is has gone to be with the Lord.
Mm-hmm.
Um, Cheryl, I don't know if it was because of the media. I called her when she got hurt. I forget where I got her number from, but I called her and to say, hey, how you doing? I heard that you had gotten hurt and you had torn your ACL. I knew what she was going through because I had just gone through that. So with that being said, I have tried to reach out to her just to keep in contact, just to say, hey, send her a hallelujah shout out. Hey, how you doing? Hey,
Mm-hmm.
what's going on with you? You know. So I think the media had a lot to do with, and I don't know if it was her coach, Linda Sharp. I don't know this for sure, but it could have driven a wedge between us.
Yeah.
I don't know this because I hadn't heard, but it just seemed like that to me because I'm the type person, I love everybody. I don't meet a stranger. I love to have fun. I don't care if we're competitive or not, and I just felt that, she didn't want to have anything to do with me because of my talent and what was being told to her not to do with me. So, that's my feelings on that. I've tried to reach out to her, but I did talk to her because she didn't know my number at the time. And like I said, I did reach out to her when she had gotten hurt, just to check on her to see how she was doing, to see if she needed anything.
I just think it was a different time. That decade was a different time in women's basketball. Things were just starting to really gear up, and we had superstars that were now stepping out and being prominent. And the politics back then, I think, was just unbelievable. If you were a player, trying to make an inroad in getting your name out there or getting on that Olympic team. And at times also you might say, we can't have too many of us on the team. We got to have this, we got to have that. I mean, there's a number of reasons, but I think there were some politics, and now that we're all older and you're older, it's great that you've reached out to her, just to say, hey, we had some great times together. The sport wouldn't be the same without us and what we've gone through. So.
But I really would. It's a question that I have pondered in my mind, that because I had heard through the grapevine, and like I say, we all know about that grapevine. We all know about it. And I would just like to ask Linda Sharp why she kind of slung some mud on my name.
Yeah,
I would I would really like to ask her that. It was the game that deep? Was it that serious?
Wow.
That you would have to do that to an individual? And I have to continue to say, I was a kid back then.
Right.
I'm very young. You are an adult. You should have been trying to pull me up instead of put your foot on my neck because of your player. It's enough talent out there. It's enough. Okay, Penny Toler, Tina Hutchinson, Cheryl Miller, Cynthia Cooper, Pam and Paula McGee. It's enough names out there where we all can share this limelight. Okay, where we all can get the publicity.
Well, you know what I'm gonna say? I'll just say this: we fall down, but we get up. I'm thinking the same
thing.
Yeah, we fall down, we get up. Things happen. You gotta move, you gotta forgive, and I could tell it's heavy on your heart because, like you said, that was something that you still, have concern about and you wonder about. That's one of the questions you're gonna sit next to God and ask him. So, what happened with that situation?
Yeah.
But the great thing is that we're still here to do some great things. And, that whole USC, the Troy connection, the Rhonda Wyndhams of the world,
Rhonda Wyndham.
Rhonda Wyndham. I thank her because she's somebody who's going to help me get in touch with Cheryl. She just texts me, and I appreciate her and all that. She's the friend that she's been from here in New York to where she is out in Cali now. So, those relationships, they roll around, they become better and more stronger in relationship to what we're going to do as a whole for the people that really need to understand how we've progressed,
That's it.
Right.
That's it. Because one thing about it, we're all in this together. Basketball is something that brought us all together.
Absolutely. Yep.
And you never know when I can help you or you can help me. We don't know, but we don't need to have any animosity towards one another.
Yeah.
Nope.
For anything. We're talking about basketball. Basketball is a game that we should enjoy. That we did enjoy because we love the game. So why are you going to add any type of foolishness, to try to sling mud on somebody, throw shade, on somebody, just because a player may be better than yours.
Yeah, well,
and that's real.
I can tell you something too, and I'm not going to give y'all the whole story because I'm going to need y'all to read my memoirs.
Yeah.
But when I do get around to writing them, and the story I got to tell you is that there's a young lady that nobody ever heard about, and y'all can go research and do whatever you want to do, but I'm going to give you the story and you may find it out. One of the saddest things in the history of the Sparks was something like what you said, and unfortunately it involved that same coach that you're talking about. That I saw. This lady was this player was amazing. Was really nice. This is when the league first started, and before we ever played a game, and it was her dream to play in the WNBA, and she fucking squashed it. And I'm gonna say it just like that because that's how bad it was. Wow. And when this happened to this player, I mean, my heart broke for her. And when I say my heart broke for her, and if this player out there listening, they know who I'm talking about, and people on the Sparks probably know who I'm talking about because I was a player then. Like I said, this was before we ever played a game. She never got to play a game because, unfortunately, this particular coach that we're talking about, I'm listening to your story, and it brought back this memory. What I'm saying.
So I'm not lying.
What I'm saying? And this young lady was so nice, was so good. Would have been an amazing teammate. And put it this way, and y'all can go run her down or search her out. But when she quit, it hurt me so bad because I know she wanted to play in the WNBA and be a part of the WNBA. And I asked her when she quit, I said, why did you quit? And she said, I couldn't take it no more. And I know what she's talking about because there's another segue to that. And y'all going to have to buy my memoirs when I do it because it's going to truly be interesting.
Shameless self-plug.
Yeah, it was one of the most incredible things I had ever seen. Wow. And unfortunately, it involved that same coach, and it just brought that memory to me, listening to you tell that story. And it just made me just go back to that place that night, just listening to this player quit before we ever played a WNBA game.
One game.
Y'all can go search that out and figure out who I'm talking about.
That's crazy.
Yeah, it was crazy to me. I'm not gonna lie. It just brought back that memory to me, and I was so sad because we waited a millennium to have the WNBA, and I'd love this person, still love her, and if I were to say her name out here, I'm gonna say her name. Her name was Teresa Gant. Teresa Gant.
Wow.
Teresa Gant was on the Sparks roster before we ever played a game. And I'm sure she, it was, really nice. Anybody that knew Teresa, great player, everybody ain't a star, but she would have been an amazing teammate. And it was crazy to watch what happened.
But let me just say this. When Dennis Rodman went to play with Michael Jordan, he knew his role. We all must know our role when we get there. And this young lady, she, like you say, she wasn't gonna be a star or anything, but she brought something to the table. And that's what we all must do in life, not just basketball. In life, we need to be able to bring something to the table.
Significant.
And I'm sure she was going to contribute. Whether she got that key rebound, whether she had a breakaway layup with 10 seconds, whatever the case may be. Everybody can't be a star. Everybody can't be a pastor in the church. You got to have somebody that's going to do scripture, somebody that's going to do prayer. You got to have somebody that's going to sing. Everybody can't go before the forefront.
Sure.
You have to know what your roles are, even in life, ladies. And that's what this thing is all about. And when you take away our options, do you know what that does to one inside?
Yes.
It hurts.
Yeah.
Because now you have taken away, even if I didn't have but one option, you have taken that option away. I always say, Lord, when I woke up this morning, I didn't have but one nerve. And hell, you got on it.
We got a couple of questions about to tie it all into current events. One, as we get ready to wrap up this show, Were you able to keep up? I know, everybody's doesn't continue to be a basketball fan, but did you at least catch Candace Parker and her? Yeah. And just any thoughts overall, just as we wrap up, because that's another really popular topic.
I think
and Candace Parker and their turnaround this year and what they were able to accomplish.
I think that she's first of all, a phenomenal person, a player, a A1 player. I think that she brought a lot to the game. Candace Parker, household name. And I think she was with I'm not sure. She did a segment on something, and she let the cameras inside of her home. And just to see her how she is with is her daughter?
Yeah, Layla.
Yeah, and I said, oh my God, she's just got the sweetest personality that one would want to emulate.
And a lot of you making me laugh, girl. Laugh, Rita.
A lot of people talked about just about her leadership towards the end as well too, and how even having played as long as she did and having a kid and everything else, and how she just grew into her leadership position. And I think that speaks volumes to what you're talking about know your role. And that's kind of where I was going with it too, is just that role changes, right? Sometimes you are the mega superstar, and then you age, and with age comes wisdom, and then you have more of a leadership position, and just learning and growing and coming to your own. I think that one of the things Candace Parker showed above anything is that by accepting that role, whatever it is, right, and growing into it, particularly that leadership role, that's when amazing things happen, right? And what has happened now, to tie all of this show back in, is, again, back to my concern, what happens when the passion, the leadership, the desire, the commitment that goes into basketball is now starting to be overshadowed by, look how much money I make on TikTok, or look how much money I make. So just something to think about as we're trying to hold on with this show. I think we do a great job of holding on to the purity of what we came from, the humble beginnings. Man, if you had one pair of Converse, like, what? We got a pair of Converse. I don't want to go back, but it's true. Like, we
kept them things clean too.
You hold on to that one pair. Don't play when they were leather. When we went from canvas to leather.
Yeah,
right. Who knew? I remember so when you start talking about that to now $1 million deals and everything, and it doesn't, in the part that we are advancing the game, we just have to make sure that the purity and the essence of, and the passion and commitment and the drive of what it was built upon doesn't get lost. And that's my commentary. I'm off my soapbox.
You know what?
And we gotta go.
We still
you have been amazing. I cannot spend all of the comments today. Yes, I know you guys were great. We tried to get to as many as we could, but Tina had a lot to offer that it had nothing to do with what we thought we wanted to know about. So thank you so much, Tina.
Thank you, Tina. Tina, it's great seeing you. Love you.
Hey, wait. Before we sign off, like, I appreciate you, Tina. It's been great getting to know you even further. But I want to talk about our gear a little bit. I want to throw a little shout out to Melissa Johnson out of McD, Georgia, for our gear. Our merchandise is coming. So thank you, Gold Standard and Melissa Johnson, Atlanta Angels. We appreciate you and all that you do for us. Check out our cups.
There was enough room to put my picture right back here.
I don't even have a cup.
I sent you a package.
I don't even have a cup.
Look, show it the sweatshirt. Come on, show it. And we're gonna send you something.
Got my hoodie
at the same time. So I don't know. You all the way in LA. She's in Jackson.
No, you know what? You just reminded me. At the front desk downstairs, I think they told me I had a package 2 days ago, and I forgot to pick it up.
Everybody, thanks for joining us. We've got 2 more episodes. 2 more episodes. Go tell a friend and tell a friend.
Love you.
All right, make sure you catch it live until next year. Ruthie's back. Mighty Ruthie is back. So make sure you tell a friend to tell a friend to join us next week, 7:30 p.m. Who we got next week, Rita? Shall we?
It might be somebody very close to us right here. So
we got a real
we're gonna let them come back. We're gonna let them come back for the surprise.
All right, so be back here. We got a very, very, very special surprise.
I gotta say my quote. My thing.
Okay, wait. You got a quote?
Let's go.
Hey, I know, Rita, you were singing that song earlier.
We're singing.
This is for Tina. They said I wouldn't make it. They said I wouldn't be here to stay.
Yes.
Said I never amount to anything.
Yes.
But I'm glad to say that I'm on my way and that I'm growing more and more each day.
Yes.
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 Woo.
Yes. Ladies, I want to give
Hey, Ruthie, I'm going to give you your own stage in California, so get ready. So when I call you, it ain't going to be no, oh, Penny, I'm too busy. You're going to have your own night.
Hey,
your own night, Ruthie.
Okay, my own night?
I'm serious, Ruthie. I'm serious.
Okay, can I bring my brother or bring Mayola?
Hey, check it out. I'm serious.
And
JB got a club that's lit. I'm telling you. Okay. You can bring whoever you want to bring. And
I'm coming.
And we're going to
I'm coming.
We
all gonna be there.
Thank you. All right, hey,
thank you for tuning in. Make sure you go to certifiedunscripted.com. Check out past episodes on YouTube, on Facebook Live. I'm Vera Jones, your host. That's Rita Haywood, our producer. That's Penny Toler, the GM, Mighty Ruthie, and our special guest, Tina Hutchinson. Go check out our other missing counterpart. Tonight, Pelicans are playing Phoenix, 10 p.m. Eastern Time, TNT. Check out Teaspoon on the sidelines. Give her a shout out. We love you. Remember, when it comes to women's hoop,
love you.
We're not new to this. We true to this. We are
certified.
Thanks, everybody.